Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the AfterShock Happy Hour live sale and interview show. I'm your host, Ruth Ann Thompson, the Senior Retailer Relations Manager here at AfterShock Comics. We have a jam-packed show for you guys. I am super stoked. Let's get started right away with our AfterShock Comic employee of the day, Rachel Pinellas. Hello, gorgeous. How are you?
I am good. Thanks for having me. Normally I'm behind the scenes and now I'm in the screen. So this is
Yes, and
this
it's
is live.
perfect.
This is
It's
happening.
live,
Wow,
it's happening. And
it's
we
happening.
also didn't realize until a couple minutes ago, but it's your official 1 year anniversary of becoming our social community manager. So,
Yeah,
yay,
thank
congrats.
you. Yeah, I also did not realize the date until I got the email from a few people congratulating me, including everyone that's on our great team. So that
Yes.
I told them all. Hopefully, they're all watching now. Hi guys. Hopefully, you're streaming. Um, so yeah, it's been a full year of incredible comics. So
Yes. And
yeah,
cheers to you and being here. And cheers to
yes, thank
all of
you.
you joining us for this show today. So, cheers.
Hmm. Mm.
Well, this is
Like,
great because I
yep.
have not even had the chance to meet you in person, even though you're in the same city that I'm
Yeah,
in.
I have
So,
not physically met many people except for the team members that I've known from my DC and Marvel days back in New York. But because it's not just a year of me being at AfterShock, which is really exciting, but it's also a year of me being a Californian officially.
that's
Um,
right. Yes.
which is really cool and not something. It's something that I imagined, but this was not the process by which I imagined it would happen. I don't mean to uptalk there, but yeah, I'm a born and raised New York and New Jersey girl. Still am. That's never going to change. But I officially, the great beautiful state of California has given me a license to drive, and I take that with a lot of. It's a privilege. So thank you, California.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
and thank you to everybody who's already commenting here. Mitch Gerwitz, our ambassador out in New York, says hello to both of us. So, hey,
Thanks,
buddy.
Mitch. Hi,
Good to see
Mitch.
you. And Paul Dunn, good to see you too, buddy. And we're just super stoked to have everybody here. And so I want to learn so much about you as well as everybody else you're learning about
Sure,
you.
ask
So,
away.
so, what was your first comic book experience? Like, what brought you into the
God.
comic book world, and how has it kind of continued to affect you to this day?
Um, well, we're not going to do a tour of my apartment, but there are many, many bookcases full of comics, many comics, Aftershock comics, Marvel comics, DC comics. I've been in comics for about over a decade now, which is really amazing. What's also cool about being part of the Aftershock team is that similarly in the great tradition of Mike Martz and Christina Harrington, I also was at Marvel and DC at one point. So, I'm following in the footsteps of the greats here. But my first comic was actually Gargoyles, the television show. Yes, 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 yes.
Sorry.
So yes, yes. So I was a big bat. I loved Batman. I definitely watched the Burton films before I realized how maybe inappropriate they're not inappropriate. They're wonderful films, but certainly there were definitely things that went over my 6-year-old head. But what I really loved about that Gargoyles cartoon was that so much about it, but it really resonated with me because when I was 5, my family moved from Brooklyn to New Jersey, and I loved Batman. And I also really loved the Gargoyle show, and the wingspan and the Gothic architecture was, there was quite a bit of an overlap there. So visually, I was really into both of it. And Marvel at the time made a comic adaptation of the cartoon that was penciled by Amanda Connor. So my first comic, my mother bought for me an issue of that Gargoyle series and that was a slippery slope into me knowing where at the time, shout out to Zap Comics in New Jersey. They're in Manalapan now, but they used to have one of their locations used to be in the Freehold Raceway Mall. So, and then that was a, yeah, slippery slope into, yeah, knowing where the comic book store was, which meant that that opened up a whole world of Vertigo and more DC indie comics. I had quite a literary phase in college. I was the editor in chief of our literary magazine, and so I'm a big McSweeney's fan. So one of my first kind of forays into indie comics was McSweeney's, their 13th issue of the literary magazine, which has now become the template for the Best American Comics anthology, but it was an all comics collection. And so it was my first exposure to Daniel Klaus, Adrian Tomine. So yeah, when have I not been reading comics? I'm sorry, that was a very, very long response to your simple question. So yes, my first comic was the Gargoyles adaptation, penciled by Amanda Connor, and I have not stopped buying them and overrunning my bookcases with them since.
That's amazing. So I didn't even know that there was a comic book of that, but I was,
Yeah,
as you could tell, I
think
was
it
very
was, I
obsessed with
think,
that show and movies.
right. Yeah, no, it's so good. And I know that there's like a lot of like fan support and even the original creators that, you know, hey, if Disney Plus wants to reboot it, there's the audience. There's an entire generation that's waiting to get some more Gargoyle content. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think it was only 12 issues though. I don't think it was a
Yeah, I
very
feel like that
long
had to be a
running.
short run. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was, you know, because also it was probably aligned with the season, you know, whatever the season was airing, or, you know, and it's also strange because it was a Marvel property and then it wasn't a Marvel property and now Marvel owns it again
Because it's
technically.
DC
Because
or because it's
yeah.
Disney and like blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm,
So I love it.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
C list Eban wants to wish you a happy anniversary and also says the Gargoyles cartoon in the 90s was awesome.
Thank
Agreed.
you.
Agreed. So let's
Agreed.
talk about your 10
Wonderful.
years in comic
Yeah.
books. So you were an editor and all that kind of stuff in college. So how did you get on the ground? Because I know you did stuff for both Marvel and DC.
Yeah.
So how did you get in?
Also following the great footsteps of, I am not as obviously accomplished or talented as Mr. Martz, but he also has the distinction of being an editor at both Marvel and DC. And so that is where our similarities begin and end, but I have obviously great admiration. So the short version is that I actually studied architecture in undergraduate. And I think for a lot of people, how you get into comics, there's no traditional answer, which is really fun, which is why this is such a fun question. So for me, yeah, the short version is that I should have gotten an internship at an architecture firm, but I didn't. I got an internship at Marvel instead. The first of two. And then in the time that was happening, I graduated from my architecture program. And so it worked out that there was an opening in the bullpen, the famous Marvel bullpen. So yeah, I started at the bullpen. So my track into comics has been both graphic design, because of my architecture background, and as well as editorial because of that as well. So, and now I'm here.
And now you're here, and we're
And
so
now
blessed
I'm
to
here.
have you. And
And
like,
now I'm in sunny California at AfterShock, and I'm in
yeah.
great company because, you know, we all have really incredible reasons for what brought us into comics.
Yes, and we have absolutely needed you, and you've been incredible as our social community manager over this
Thank
last
you.
year. All the
Thank
time,
you.
we get so many comments and notes about how well our social media is doing and how interactive and incredible it is. So that is all thanks to you, wonderful woman. Great job.
I'm trying to keep it up, and I will see everyone in the comments when when our guest joins and I'm off screen and once again behind the scenes.
Yes.
But,
So before we wrap you up, where can people find you personally on the social medias?
oh goodness. So obviously personally, I'm behind all the AfterShock accounts. So hello.
Yeah, follow
But
those first of all.
yes, so follow those. Please follow those. Like and subscribe. And me personally, I'm at Rachessance, which is Rachel plus Renaissance, which is a wonderful movement of art and architecture. And so it's RACHEAISSANCE. It's a mouthful. I'm sorry, but it sounds really good.
It does.
But so if you want to find me, you can find me there. And as well as, you can just follow AfterShock.
Yeah, that's the best place to find you as well. Well, thank you
Exactly.
again, Rachel. It's so much fun having you on the front line of this versus just in the background. So I'm glad everybody got
Happy
to
to
meet you
be
today.
here. Yeah, thank you. And I'll see you in the comments.
Yes, everybody stick around because we have the incredible Jan Newman, the ex-Russian spy that we have 2 titles based on. So make sure you stick around and we'll be right back. Oh, hey, friends, it's Rue from the AfterShock Epicenter. If you missed this last week's episode, you need to go to your local comic book shop right now and pick up everything that came out yesterday for New Comic Book Day. We have all the reprints, so many reprints, as well as Girls of Dimension 13, number 3, and the final issue of Undone by Blood. So make sure you go to your local comic book shop, pick those up, and we will see you back on Epicenter next week on Tuesday at 12 p.m. Pacific. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the AfterShock Happy Hour and Live Sale. I am your host, Ruth Ann Thompson, and I am super stoked about our guest that we're about to bring on. I've made some jokes about being nervous about interviewing him. He is an ex-Russian spy that is basing a lot of his true life stories in our comic books. So let's bring him on in. Jan Newman, so good to see you, sir.
Hello, guys. Thank you so much for having me here. That's a great opportunity, and I really thank you. Yeah, just ask me any questions you want.
Yeah. Well, not any questions. I have a feeling
I mean,
my phone will get tapped and I'll get a knock on the door if I ask you too many questions.
possible. There is always a possibility.
Yeah, so I mean, this has just been an incredible couple years of having you part of the AfterShock family. So for those that don't know, he was also part of the team that put together Red Atlantis, which was our last year's title, which was written by Stephanie Phillips. Artist was Robert Carey, and the colorist was Rosh, and letterer Tony Pederari. So this has been that title specifically terrified me because it was based on a series of unexplained violent crimes on election day, and we actually released the comic book the day after the elections in 2020.
Yeah.
And it follows a college student named Miriam that finds out that her past is a lot more than she thinks, and she's actually the child of some other Russian spies and kind of has the same powers as some of these people that are trying to take over the election. So I know that you were a part of the, talking with Stephanie Phillips and working with her. So what was that like, coming up with this storyline and kind of using pieces of your own history in this crazy story?
Well, I mean, Red Atlantis itself, how the way we created it, I can say we because it's first of all, initial idea belongs to my wife. Then my partners, Nick Leeds and Dave Pavoni, joined me in this journey. It's really kind of interesting how the whole thing started. So my wife and I, we've been working on some consulting gig, writing some analytical intelligence report with some potential predictions what could happen after the election and what could affect it. At the same time, with my folks, with my guys, Nick and Dave, we've been developing a documentary TV series based on the Soviet paranormal research. So it's starting from times like from Trotsky, Gleb Boki, and so on. And at some point, I just decided why we can't compare these two things together and make it like completely crazy fictional story. So we adopted real scenarios from our intelligence report and mix it with this crazy paranormal studies and history. So we wrote a Bible. It's about like 50 plus pages of really dense material. And then with my guys, we put together a treatment, and we thought initially this could be a TV series. So we reached out to our friend, journalist, former editor of Newsweek, Ross Schneiderman, just asked his opinion, what he thinks about it. We just need a third-party opinion. So Ross immediately fell in love with the project, and without even telling us, he pitched it to Lee Kramer. So this is
no, he didn't even tell you that he was.
This is how this project basically ended up in the hands of AfterShock, great AfterShock team. And then Ross told us about that. We even didn't think that we can do the graphic novel based on that. We thought we're going to pitch it as a TV series. So Mike and Lee, they considered that they want to take the project. That's how AfterShock got the Red Atlantis on board. And then it was a long process of picking who will be the writer and the artists. And I guess it was like a joint decision that Stephanie, she will be the best fit for it. And yes, she did. She did the amazing job. It was quite a torture for her to start to work with us on the project, because honestly, I was a huge pain in the neck for her. I was I tried to stay as close as possible for our original material and push her towards the direction that we want to make it more historical. But then at some point, we just decided, okay, she's so talented that there is no way we need to kind of tell her what to do. We gave her full freedom, and now we got a great result. So yeah, she's basically, she was she played a leading role in this, and she's one of the co-creators of this idea, I can say.
So yeah, it's a fantastic story, and it's so crazy to hear. Like, how I would love to hear like what specifically. I don't know if we're allowed to talk about what specifically was based on real life stuff that you'd found from that intelligence versus there's obviously the supernatural element to it. But what are some of the things that you were able to draw from real life experience that added to Red Atlantis?
Well, Red Atlantis itself as organization is like a secret society inside the intelligence community. It's a network of sleepers, of the spies who've been placed inside the United States years and years ago. So all of this kind of related to the real situations. Some activities like provoked the riots, provoked some violence, destabilization of social situation inside the United States. That's all came from the intelligence report. Of course, graphic novel format, it's not possible to put everything what we thought with it into this. And for Stephanie, it was a huge challenge just to take this small pieces from our original material and integrate it into this great fictional world what she was creating. So Red Atlantis, if you look at this from the angle that Red Atlantis itself is a symbol of fear and invisible threat. It's basically an absolute evil power which no one can stop. And our main character, she's right in the middle of it. And if you look at the story, and again, this is based on a personal experience, FBI guys initially, they look like they are really not friends at all. They're trying to chase her. They're trying to arrest her. They thought that she's behind all of it. And then you can see how this whole thing is changing. And at some point, hopefully it will be season 2. That's a question to Mike and Lee. We can explain it more and show how our main character is going to work out with an FBI folks to save the country. So we don't know. Like I'm not sure I can go forward to that one, but let's wait.
Yeah, hopefully we can have the next season before the next election, because it was just from our standpoint, like even like producing it and like coming up with all the marketing for it to come out the day after our actual elections is like, guys, don't be too worried, go vote. But like, oh my God.
That actually was not our call at all. A decision was made by AfterShock. So guys,
yes, I know it wasn't me. Wasn't me. I just work here. Oh God.
Also, one more secret about the opening scene in the election polls. Honestly, that's the least violent scene in our main script. So,
yeah.
And it was picked by AfterShock guys. And the person who created this scene, it's a credit to him just directly. That's Ross Schneiderman. It was his idea just to bring the American election on board. Because we thought, okay, let's just keep on elections too sensitive and just start a bit later on. So, but again, AfterShock made a decision, and I guess it went really, really well. About the predictions. I can't say whose idea was that, but if you look at the cover of the issue 1, you guys can see something which happened in the United States a few months ago.
Yeah.
Yes, and after this book was released, I received several calls from the former government employees, put it this way, and people will actually complaining like, why the hell you guys did it? Like, why? Sorry for my French. Why you even put this on a cover page? And I was just saying, like, I had no idea this is going to happen. Like, we had really no clue.
Yeah, no idea that you'd be so prolific in that very specific image. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and I mean, but again, it fits the story really well, and I think the art is perfect, and it's all kind of amazing.
Yeah, and so now we have a new comic book from you coming out in this September called Almost American, and this story is actually a lot more personal because this is actually focusing on the actual story of how you and your wife defected to the U.S. back in 2008. How much can you tell us about the story? I know like dates and names and everything have been changed for safety, but like what has it been like for you to kind of open up that side of your actual life to the comic book world?
Idea to make this story into the graphic novel belongs to Lee Kramer. That's his idea. I think, and he was able to convince us just to do it, and I think this worked out pretty well. It was a long process to find the best writer as possible for the project, and now we have Ron Martz, which is he's a legend, and Ron has absolutely he has an experience as a journalist. His kind of original job was a journalist, so he knows how to work with the real life true material. So cooperation with him is just amazing. We just like we're writing another article about our story, our journey. Also focus on the story is about people. It's not about just like a spy super like spy world and some absolutely insane action. No, it's more about people. It's a people's story under this, people who going through this challenge, for this journey under this tremendous pressure as well. And every time to achieve something, they have to go from the obstacle to obstacle and just beat it and try to win and survive. We can say that the story is about 92-95% is about exactly as it was. We took some freedom, and the graphic novel kind of gives us this opportunity. We integrated a few things which I was not physically, like personally involved, but let's say people who've been working next to me, they've been doing these things. So we have an opportunity to tell these stories as well. So yeah, it's Almost Americans. It's a we can say it's a biopic story. It's a biopic story of my wife and I and our journey. Just a small correction: we didn't defect to United States. We defect from Russia, and then
From Russia. Yes, my apologies.
United States government made a decision to bring us to United States. So it was kind of not the choice. It was done by the U.S. government at first place. So it was originally was a different plan, but I guess that's the different conversation for a different show. That's I'm not sure how much I can talk about that one.
Yeah, and as you said, it's really a story about people, because that's what makes this even more interesting. That there's real humans just like you and your wife. That this is a real life story. And just on a personal note, does it mention at all how you and your wife met? Because I've always been so curious.
I think so. And I'm not sure. I have just kind of people are texting me saying don't say it. So I guess. Sorry, guys. I guess you have to buy the book and just see it there, or we will do some later on. Yeah, I have like a censorship coming from the publisher, my agent, and my wife. So guys, don't blame
all
me.
All right. We'll cut it short. No spoilers. No knocks at the door here. All right.
Yes, you will see lots of really cool stories in it. A lot of really funny moments and some really like strong, serious, tough situations for which we had to go through. And again, I'm not sure should I say it or not, but anyways, we're gonna try to. that's a challenge actually, because I know the material from the inside. I know what Ron is going for. So we want to say things, but we want to keep a bit like open ending. We want to don't say it in full. When the people start think and then wait maybe for continue this story as well. But again, guys, that's it was amazing journey for us. It's still kind of going, and it's absolutely kind of phenomenal and unique experience to work and transform your personal life story into the graphic novel.
Yeah. So you had mentioned before that you were hoping to have this actually be a TV series and that sort of thing. So how have you felt about comic books? Have you been a fan of comic books in the past? Is there anything that's kind of grabbed your fancy?
Well, few clarifications. I was born in the late 70s, so basically it was a so deep Soviet Union. It was like an age of the Cold War. Graphic novels, some type of books, some movies on a VHS. I'm not sure your younger audience even know what the VHS is.
It's true.
So,
a lot of kids don't know what that is these days.
it was size of a laptop, but in which you can watch the movie. So, anyways, lots of this stuff was basically prohibited back in the Soviet Union times. So graphic novels kind of not was part of our culture at all. Small secret disclosure. Basically, my first graphic novel is Red Atlantis. So instead of just writing, reading.
Wait. That's the first comic you've ever read as well as was part of like writing it? That's insane.
Of course, I saw them in the store, yes. And we've been writing this as a TV series, as a TV series treatment and a story. So basically, AfterShock introduced me to the graphic novels world. And the Red Atlantis is like, that's the first graphic novel I basically ever read from cover to cover. Just because I was involved physically in the writing this and the creating this world as well. So yeah, I mean, 70s and 80s in Soviet Union graphic novels not gonna happen. So then I mean, maybe some people brought a few things, but again, I saw them, but it was not something what you can buy in a store. Then early 90s, it was kind of more about the surviving because country was going completely disrailed. And then I joined KGB, as we call it, KGB High School. It's academy in 1996. So I had no time just to dig into the comic world, into the comic industry. And then basically from age 17, I just was doing some kind of strange work for Russian government and then for American government. So
that's amazing. Well, official welcome to the comic book world. I guess I didn't realize we were like you're first on both sides. But I believe that you do have a story though about one time that you were involved with entertainment before for a movie or TV show that you had been cast in as a spy, if I remember correctly. Why don't you tell everybody this story because it's pretty hilarious.
Well, yeah. So put it this way. I don't trust, based on my really strange background and my trainings and my work experience, I don't trust in 3P, priests, psychiatrists, and pills. So if you have some stress, you need to find a way how to deal with that. Martial arts and some other things didn't work well at some point, and I've got an idea, like maybe I should try to do some kind of improve or stand up or whatever, some kind of classes, not to perform, but do something, just release all this negativity and the stress out of me. Plus, no one knew who I am and what I am. So I found acting coach down in Portland, Oregon, where we spent great 8 years. And Kevin Jones, name of my teacher, who became my friend and my mentor. He's running his own theater company right now called Red Door Project. And Kevin had no idea who I am. He just thought I'm a mid-age guy with some issues and problems who just want to be an actor. Every time going through training with him, he was pushing me towards the direction I should get an agent and go for auditions. And I was doing my best to sabotage it as much as I can, just because that was not the plan at all. So basically, what I was looking for just to get this trainings is more like a psychological treatment instead of just being an actor. So anyways, at some point, Kevin arranged a few meetings for me with the local agents, and I deliberately failed them. I just that was, he was quite upset about my performance, but then he found me another agent who basically took me no matter what I was doing. So, and this is, so anyways, I thought, okay, fine. I had to do some kind of headshots and all this stuff. I did it. And then my agent basically called me, said like, you have an audition. I said, what I should do? He said like, yeah, just go there. Okay. And it was for show TV series Grimm. It was MSNBC. So I went there and I thought, okay, not going to happen anyways. So, right. So who cares? So I got an audition, then I got a call back, and callback weirdly went really long. I spent like 45 minutes and the producer has been asking me lots of the questions. Later on, I figured out from my agent that it's kind of a good indication that people are really interested in you. And other guys been like going inside and out like within 2-3 minutes. And ultimately I spent there over half an hour. And it's not because I'm dumb and I can't follow the instructions, not just because they've been asking me more and more things to do. So it's ended up I landed in an available list, and I thought, okay, one thing not going to happen again. But after that, almost immediately in a week, I got a second call to audition for the same show, but in different role. And role was for Austrian assassin spy. So
how did they know?
And no one knew who I am and what I am again.
Yeah.
And guys in the government thought it's like kind of a joke, and it's just I'm doing this for fun, and no one cares. I'm not going to get this part anyways because of my accent and the way I look like. I don't have like Northwest face, and I'm not American. So anyways, I got an audition, got a call back, and then out of blue, I got a call from my agent who said like, you got a part. That was absolutely like a revelation moment. And I chat with the government guys. They said like, well, I mean, look, no one is watching this show. It's a grade B. Only people in Portland watching this. Well, you just can go and do it. Like they're going to pay you money. That's fine. So I ended up playing this Austrian spy assassin, and I spent 12 hours on the set. I got my own trailer for a day, like in the star mode. No one knew who I am and what I am. Interesting part is director Terence O'Hara. He actually, between the takes, he was telling me how the real spy should walk, talk, and how I should behave myself. So
how hard was it to keep your face straight at that point? Be like, sure, yeah, whatever you say.
I was, yeah, and then I got some advices from the stunt coordinator guy, because I had to die myself on the set. Like they killed me, they whacked me, and so that's it's really great experience. It's really interesting. And then I thought, okay, well, I mean, no one's gonna watch this anyways, so done, it's done, perfect. I got my paycheck, everything is cool. My Kevin is happy because I landed with one part, basically mission accomplished. So, but they released the show right after the closing ceremony of Olympics in Sochi. And then we found out that they were broadcasting the show in Russia as well. So, no, we had no idea. Government had no idea. And then,
oh no!
I mean, the show was in English, right? So I was speaking English. So someone else was just kind of doing the voiceover for my character back in Russia. And yeah, that was the shocking moment. It was a huge joke here in the intelligence community that it was the most watchable episode of any American show back in Russia.
Oh my goodness.
My 45 seconds on the screen, like after 12 hours of filming, just, well, yes, this went completely wild. And if people want to watch it,
oh yeah, what is the show called again? Because some people think it's Grimm. It's not Grimm though, right? What is the show?
Grimm. It is.
Oh, it is Grimm. Yeah. So
Season 3, episode 13, Revelation. So it's even matching what I was doing.
Oh my God. Yeah. So Jack Rudo says, I have friends who did makeup on Grimm. So it looks like we might actually, through all these connections, we might have people watching that know people who did your makeup. and then Jack also says that this story specifically needs to be its own show, because that's just at least an episode, like, because I can't imagine. So were you literally at home and then saw it, or did somebody start like messaging you and be like, it's on TV right now and there's somebody else dubbing over you?
Well, we knew it's going to be released in America, right? So, and the guys in Portland kind of been watching this, and they had kind of no idea who I am as well. But then I got a text message from the person who was working for U.S. government at this moment, and he sent me kind of a screenshot. They've been watching the Russian television this moment due to the job thing, And then they saw my face, just basically me walking around the screen of the Russian television, which was like end of the days for them. It's like, what the hell just happening? That's
Oh my goodness. Well, this has got to be a first all around. So you're like the first like Russian intelligence to be on TV playing. It wasn't Russian intelligence,
no,
right?
no,
Who
no,
was
no.
the
It
character?
was Austrian spy assassin. It's some basically I'm supposed to morph into some kind of a creature, but then they decided not to morph me. So I was as a human. I died as a human.
Okay.
Initial role was supposed to be in German, but then they switched it into English because my accent is so thick. So that's even better. So we
Yeah.
just kind of decided to go this way. And then they killed me. And by the way, character who killed me, that's the character for whom I was auditioning in first place. So
Oh.
I ended up with this guy in available list, and they just decided me just to wake me after all. So
Wow.
that's
Okay. So we have you on TV playing a
Austrian.
Austrian spy assassin. We have you with your first comic book that you ever read or, technically was part of the writing team for with Red Atlantis. And now we have the first time ever you and Victoria telling your real life story of everything that happened back in 2008 with Almost American. That's incredible. I knew this interview was going to be insane. I had no idea.
Well, I mean, yeah, guys, with AfterShock, that's my first ever graphic novel experience, and it's with AfterShock. So, yeah, and it's ended up not I'm just reading the AfterShock book. I was involved in producing two of them, just creating the story and then being part of the story as well. The kind of the only stone towards the AfterShock team, somehow, I'm not sure who made this decision, but maybe Mike Martz, maybe Lee, I don't know, but they made my character way better looking than I am. So basically, what I'm gonna say, and I told this to Lee, that they owe me money right now just to buy some new gym membership and get some supplements just to get into the same shape as my character. So if they wanted me to promote this stuff on a Comic-Con, then I have to look like this guy. So yeah, and I got a lot of teasing from my wife about this as well. So like that's a torture now. So it's
Yeah, how does she feel about how she's depicted? Is she happy with it?
yes, she's. I
Yes.
mean, well, I mean, yes, because she was kind of guiding guys which way to go with that one. In my case, I had no voice at all. So like they said, like we're gonna do this, we're gonna do it. So yeah, guys, if I'm not really matching the character again as in your kind of a vision as in my real life and the guy in Almost Americans, then don't blame on me. So that's the question to Mike and Lee.
Yeah, and just to backtrack a little bit, so we were talking about Red Atlantis and how you were thinking of having another season of that, another arc to that storyline. Where do you think it would go next if you had your choice?
Well, spoiler.
Spoilers, just a little bit of just a soupçon of spoilers.
As I mentioned before, like earlier, right? So Red Atlantis, it's the organization which placed the sleepers all around the United States, right? So in Red Atlantis Red Atlantis graphic novel. I'm just that's we kind of our main character. She didn't crack the whole chain and all this whole network which was placed inside the United States. In our original material, we created like the whole catalog of the weapons which Red Atlantis spies can use, all of them based on some kind of a paranormal and sci-fi stuff, some microwaved or hyperwaves or some kind of some gadgets like that. And actually, and again, I'm not sure why, but AfterShock decided not to use to promote Red Atlantis this recent news which came from New York Times about this ultrasound waves which hit the American embassies in Cuba and some other countries. Even we mentioned this in our original script and we gave it to AfterShock guys. I'm not sure. So guys,
it's too real. That's why it was just too real. It's too terrifying.
Read between the lines, like as I said, like after in Red Atlantis, there are a bunch of stuff is basically coded in it. Also, maybe if your readers can figure out why we called Russian ambassador of the way as we called it, as it listed in Red Atlantis. If they can figure out, I know now only one person who was able to kind of crack our code. because we've been placing like these small things like bookmarks inside the story.
I didn't
So
even know that. That's so great.
we
Yeah,
even
so I'm gonna have to reread it myself and figure it out.
that just figure out why we called Russian ambassador this way. And I even didn't tell it to Stephanie till the book was released. So we've been doing some kind of our trade craft things, just placing some small ideas into the story.
Look at you just tricking the writer to add like these little like eggs, like little Easter eggs in there. Look at you go, sneaky. I like it.
Well, I mean, look, there is no such thing as X if we're talking about or former, if we're talking about the spy or counterintelligence. It's always gonna stay with you. I guess it's just like, it's a tag.
Yeah, it's so cool. Now we get all your stories in comic book form, which is really exciting. So for all of those watching, Red Atlantis is already in shops. You can get the 5 single issues or the trade paperback with it all together. Almost American will be on shelves in September, so make sure to let your local comic book shop know that you would like to add it to your pull list. And Jan, where can everybody find you on the interwebs? I'm not sure how much you have social media, but
I'm not sure I wanted people to find me.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, man, maybe not. I don't know.
Well, because of the graphic novels, I do now have a Twitter account, which is the only thing I do have. I'm not sure I'm really active in it. I'm just more posting about our stuff, what we do with AfterShock and with my guys. But besides that, that's almost it. I'm kind of trying to stay as far as possible from the social media activity. But maybe, who knows, like I already had this conversation with my agent, who guys from LA, they said like, well, if we're going to make it into the TV series with one of your stories, you have to open the social media accounts. So for me, like, that would be another huge like milestone, like a big step forward. Not sure I can do it. I can handle it, but well, I mean, who knows?
Yeah, who knows? I mean, you've already been on TV. You already have your first comic books that were the first comic books you've ever read. Like, all of it's just amazing. And we're so honored to have you here at AfterShock, as well as on this episode of the AfterShock Happy Hour. So thank you again so much for joining.
So much. And one more note, guys.
Yes.
As I know, small spoiler again, AfterShock plans to release Red Atlantis in the International Spy Museum.
Yes. So make sure you follow us to see all that.
Yeah. So story Red Atlantis goes to the mothership. So goes to the International Spy Museum. It's going to be part of the exhibit too. So you guys, that's
crazy. We're so honored because yes, it's your story. So thank you again
our
so
story.
much for
it's AfterShock and my story. So let's put it this way, because without AfterShock, it won't be possible to make it. So I'm going to talk for my guys, Nicholas Leeds, David Pavoni, my wife, Victoria. So thank you so much, AfterShock, for accepting our crazy idea and turning this into the great comic book. And hopefully season 2. So
yes,
please, Mike, consider it. We need to make it happen.
Yes, and the more comics that you guys buy of Red Atlantis, the more likely we'll be able to bring it back. So make sure you get to your comic book shops ASAP and get those. Jan, thank you so much again and again. Everybody stick around. We're going to take a short break, and then we'll be back with the incredible Joe Pruitt to do our live sale of some incredible rarities you can only get here at a fraction of the cost. See you soon.
Thank you so much.
Oh, hey again, friends. It's Rue from the AfterShock Epicenter live stream. I want to make sure that you join us for this coming Tuesday at 12 p.m. Pacific so we can talk about all the incredible titles that are coming out next week. We have a brand new #1, Clans of Bellari #1. Gotta check it out. Really stoked to talk to you guys about it, as well as Out of Body #2, Baby Teeth 19. We are so close to the conclusion of Baby Teeth, and I can't wait for it, as well as the trade paperback of Miskatonic that has the entire series in it. So make sure you join so we can talk about it. You can make sure it's on your pull list, and just come hang out with me and nerd out about comics. So I will see you then. Bye, guys. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the AfterShock Happy Hour and Live Sale. It is now time for the live sale portion with the incredible, the incomparable Madonna of comic books, Joe Pruitt.
Okay, Ruthann, you just made the list. We're not going to talk about it again. Okay.
About that, did you?
I am never going to forget that since your interview. How are you doing, good sir?
I'm doing good. Again, I missed you guys 2 weeks ago when I was on vacation without you. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's it's not a big deal. He was only like a couple hours north of me, but it's fine. He didn't
Well,
want to hang out with me.
I don't think San Francisco is a couple hours north.
No, well,
By plane.
Yeah, by plane maybe. All right. Well, we have a lot to sell today. So why don't we start at the top with the Red Atlantis #1,
Okay.
9.8.
This is the 9.8, the regular cover, Red Atlantis #1.
So this is the cover he was talking about, right? Or is this the I'm trying to remember which #1, because he was mentioning how it was like basically the attack on, I think it was the other first issue cover. But yeah, so usually this is 40 bucks off of our shop, but today only for the next 24 hours we're selling it for only $25.
What a bargain.
What a bargain indeed. And now this is what were you going to say, Joe?
No, I'm going to knock these down. So
I know, Jendel.
You can all laugh at me when I do.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
Yeah. So here's the Red Atlantis, the incentive cover, the 1 in 15 cover for the retailers. This one's by Tim Bradstreet, one of my favorite cover artists of all time. If you can see it.
Very nice. Very nice. Yes, normally this is $50, but for this live sale for the next 24 hours, it is all the way down to only $30. So yet another incredible deal.
We're just crazy here.
We just doing a crazy sales. And then we're going to do the Red Atlantis, all 5 issues together. So this is the first printing of it.
Yeah, first printing.
Mm-hmm.
Of all 5 issues of Red Atlantis. Bum, bum, bum. Here we go. All 5.
All 5 of them. So usually it's $25 altogether, but we're going to do it for only $20. And like I said, these are the first printing. So, and as Jan mentioned, this is going to be in the Spy Museum officially. So get your hands on it.
Perfect.
So Jack Rudo said, Bradstreet. So we have a Bradstreet fan in the comments. Make sure you get yours.
He's mine.
Is mine. Next graded book would be Maniac of New York.
Yes, one of our bigger hits in the last few months.
Yes, we had somebody in the chat talking about how much they liked this series. So make sure you get your graded.
Here's the hard to find first printings of Maniac New York. There's been 2 printings of it now. These are first printings, 9.8 CBCS.
Mm-hmm. And normally they're $75, and we're going to sell them for only $50. So
today only.
Today only.
Well, okay.
And then Charlie Ramos says killer, which yes.
And then we had the incentive cover of #1, also a first printing. This one is we do the incentive cover here.
It should be on the back. It's on the back, sir.
I'm too blind to see it. Sorry, that's why I have glasses now. Jonathan Luna of the Luna Brothers.
Yes.
So that's not really nice.
It's really nice. Yeah, normally this one is $100. So for
1 in 15, hard to find.
Yes, very hard to find, and we're going to sell it for only $75.
Yeah, both issues 1 and 2 both went back to second printings, FYI. So that's been a very big hit for us.
Yeah, it's kind of popular. People who knew that people would like Jason in New York? Shocker.
Yeah. People like to see people killed, I guess.
Yeah, it happens. And since it is July 1st, we wanted to do a homage to our Pride Month. So we're going to do a whole group of LGBTQ titles. So first up is Alters Volume 1 and Volume 2 trade paperback. So this is the complete series by good old Paul Jenkins.
I love that guy. Yeah. And for the first 2 people who decide they want this set, I have signed editions of Volume 1 by Brian Stelfreeze, the cover artist, and Paul Jenkins, the hack writer.
Ooh, so the first 2 people.
Oh, it does say hack. I hope Paul's not watching. He's actually a good friend of mine. But any chance I get to put him down a peg, I will. It's that fake British accent that really bugs me.
It's just so fake. Yeah. So fake. Yeah. And this story is incredible. So this is the story of a young person who has not come out to their family as a transgender woman. And as this is happening, they also get superpowers. And in this world, it's extremely dangerous to have superpowers because there is basically a Homelander version of the super duper bad guy and his bad guy group, where as soon as people get powers, he hunts them down and says, like, basically either you join us or we kill you. So it's like it's a story of 2 identities at the same time with this one person. So it's an incredible story.
Very nice.
So usually together those are $30. For this live sale, both of them together we're going to do for just $20. So that is our first
2 are assigned.
First 2 are signed. So make sure you jump on that. Next up is Moth and Whisperer trade paperback. And this is our kind of super spy story about a non-binary character. So basically, there are these two master spies in this world. One is Moth, one is Whisperer. And does anybody know, in secret, they're actually a husband and wife. They have a child in secret, and now they've gone missing. So their child takes on the identity of both of their parents to then try to find out where they went and how they can save him. So it's save both parents. So it's a really cool story of an alternate universe of like gangsters and mobs and spies. Oh my, it's a really fun one. So I highly suggest this one. And this is usually $16, and then we're gonna sell it on this live sale for only $10.
$10.
$10. Next up is one of my favorite books to describe. This is Insects, the beautiful hardcover. Usually it's in 2 trade paperbacks. This is an incredible story from Marguerite Bennett.
Van Masu fame. And this
Yes.
is all 13 issues and one beautiful hardcover.
Beautiful hardcover. So for those that don't know the story, it is a Victorian lesbian body horror story. So these two women embark on a very deep, passionate relationship with each other. And one of them is actually not as she seems and has this monstrous form that she can also transform her lover into it as well. And it's kind of an amazing flip of the Jack the Ripper story. So instead of it being a man hunting down innocent women, it's 2 women hunting down criminal men.
Yeah, it's really great. Real quick, I say a couple questions. I'll answer
yeah.
for you real quick. So, Maniac New York asked about a sequel. Maybe. I can't tell you, but you'll hear sooner or later. So just keep listening. And the other question is, the author is signed by. The first volume is 2 copies signed. One by Paul Jenkins, the writer, and one by Brian Stelfreeze, the cover artist.
Hey, if you're going to give announcements like that, at least say wink.
Yeah.
No, I'm not making any announcements. I have no announcement to give you yet.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, wait, back up for a second. So that Insects hardcover, it's normally $45. We're going to sell it for only $30 here on the show. So
big bargain.
Yeah. Big bargains. Next up, as Joe has already showed off, is Kill a Man trade paperback. So this is the incredible story from Steve Orlando and Philip Kennedy Johnson about a man who gets outed as gay during a press conference after a fight, and then everybody drops him, and the only person he can find to train him is the fighter that actually killed his father in the ring for calling him a gay slur. So it's just it's groundbreaking title. So if you like martial arts, highly suggest this title. We are selling this only for $30. It's usually, I went back up to Insects. It's usually $17, and we're selling it up for only $10 on this show.
Yeah, actually it's $18. I just corrected myself. I'm looking at the title, the price right now.
A whole nother $1 we just sliced for you guys just now.
So. Yeah, it's a great story. So it's an original graphic novel, one and done, complete story in here, 112, 20 pages.
Yes, beautiful story.
And Philip Kennedy Johnson now is doing what I believe Superman now.
Yes,
so he's a big deal. Alien, yeah.
Yeah, that both of those guys are like all over the place now. Following them on social media is like, what? Oh, just another big announcement after a big announcement. So good stuff. Now, for all of those LGBTQ titles now, you can get them all usually together. It's like $108. But now, if you bundle these all together, if you want to get just this full stack of incredible LGBTQ
these heavy books.
All those heavy books. We're going to do it all together for only $60, 60. So make sure to pick those up.
You can buy individually, or you can buy the whole bundle of them. So great. Yeah,
the whole kit and caboodle. And then Paul Dunn said, "My shop never got this. So I'm curious of which one of those that you didn't get, sir, because you're going to get it right now, or at least be able to." So let's start at the top. Make Joe really work at it as our Vanna White here. So starting back at the top, we have Red Atlantis #1, 9.8 graded cover. It's normally $40. We're going to sell it for only $25. Next up is the Red Atlantis incentive cover for the #1, 9.8 graded. That is normally $50. We're going to do it only for $30. here. Maniac of New York. That is the number one graded, normally 75. It's going to be only 50 for the next 24 hours. Another Maniac of New York, the incentive cover this time of graded 9.8, normally $100. We're going to sell it just for 75 here tonight. And our LGBTQ titles. So we have Alters, Volume 1 and 2. Normally together is 30, but we're going to sell it here for only $20. Moth and Whisperer trade paperback, normally $16, but we're going to do it for only 20. Or wait, I keep looking up at the wrong numbers. $10 here on the show. Insects hardcover, again, and this is for 17 and up folks. It can get a bit graphic in this comic book. That's normally 45. We're going to do it for only 30. And then last but not least is Kill a Man trade paperback, normally 17, only $10 on the live sale. And if you want all of those put together in one amazing bundle, we're going to give it to you for only $60.
And one more. We forgot the all five, the Red Atlantis.
Oh, I did. I skipped over that. All five of the Red Atlantis, and these are the first prints of all five of them. Usually it is, like looking back at my notes here, is $25 altogether, but we're going to sell you all five put together for only $20. Bum, 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 bum,
Like a
bum.
weatherman. No, talking about we're going to have a storm front coming in from the west here, the east. So it's fun.
Yes. What a bargain indeed, Mitch. And then Adam is actually asking, when is the random mystery sale of CBS graded comics coming? I don't know. That's a good idea. Maybe we can do one live sale that's just graded fun stuff.
Yeah, maybe we're doing a week off, do it a different Friday, or we just do a warehouse sale. And I can go through all the greatest stuff. Well, a lot of the greatest stuff, and blow those suckers out.
Yeah. Do a whole like video in that giant warehouse.
Adam, if that's Adam who asked that, no, he's seen the warehouse. He knows what's there.
Yeah, he knows what's up. But guys, it's about time to wrap up. The sale will continue for the next 24 hours. So if you're watching this on repeat, all good. Just make sure you jump in and get these comic books before they sell out. Joe Pruitt, thank you again for joining. We missed you
pleasure.
the last time. It's good to have you back.
Yeah, I almost missed you guys too.
Yeah, almost. In your sober moments, you're like, oh, just a little. No.
I was having fun.
That's all that matters. And guys, thank you all so much for joining. Thank you for being a part of the AfterShock family. We're going to be back here on July 15th with the incredible James Patrick to talk about Kaiju Score and his upcoming title with us, Campese. So make sure you join for that on July 15th. And of course, we always have our epicenters every Tuesday at noon Pacific to talk about the titles that are coming out for the new comic book day the next day. And just stay safe out there. Wash your hands. Wear your masks. Only read dangerously. What do you want to add, Joe?
We might particularly have a special never before released Kaiju Score #1 variant for you too.
Wink, wink. So make sure you join on the 15th. All right. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you on the next one.